Hey, have you ever drawn a picture of yourself? If you have, that's called a self-portrait, and many artists have done this. Sometimes they use things like a mirror to study the shape of their face and where the eyes are and the nose. A lot of kids think the eyes are up here in the forehead, but actually the top of our head's here, and we have a lot of space here where our hair is. And anyways, they use these mirrors to decide what kind of wrinkles they have, eye color, how their mouth is, where it stops and ends, and their nose. If you have a mirror, it might be helpful for you to create your own self-portrait today. Let's look at some self-portraits of different artists, and then I'm going to show you how to do a mixed media self-portrait. And we'll talk about proportion and placement of your facial features. Here's a very realistic self-portrait of Rembrandt. He was a painter from a long time ago. And then we have one of Mexican artist Frida Kahlo, and she included her pet monkeys and some tropical plants that she might have in her hometown. And here's one of Pablo Picasso. His is done in a cubist fashion with lots of angular straight lines. All right, now we're ready to do our self-portrait. I have a piece of flesh colored paper. If you do not, you can always use white and color it with crayons or markers or paint. We're going to start out with our head. Now, sometimes kids think that a head is a circle, when in fact our faces are really oval shapes. So we're going to do an oval shape here for our head. As I've said before in the past, I sometimes like to air draw. I want to use this whole paper. I don't want a little head like this, so I'm going to start near the top, come around near the bottom and back up. I'll leave a little room for my neck. We'll be cutting this out and adding hair, so don't worry if you run out of room for your hair. When you're ready, you're going to come around and draw your oval. And now we're going to do our neck. And we can just do 2 straight lines down. We'll add a shirt later after we cut this out. Okay, now we can think about the face. We need to have eyes, nose, mouth, maybe ears. If you have long hair, you might not see your ears. But we'll start with the eyes. Sometimes my friends think that eyes are up here when they're really here, and you're going to have this much space here for your hair. So bring your eyes, put them in the middle of your head. And if you want to have some eyelashes, you can add those. If you want to add eyebrows, you can add those. There's lots of different ways you can make your eyebrows. If you want them showing every little hair, sometimes I draw this line first and then add the little hairs. Or you don't have to get so complicated. Now next is the nose. The nose is going to go right here. And there's lots of different ways to make noses. You could come down to the bridge and just do a little curve, or you could just do a little nose like this or like that. We have lots of different choices. And then we're going to do the mouth. The mouth is in between the nose and the chin. Do a couple curved lines like that. That's not the only way you can do a mouth. If you want, you can make your U And if you want your teeth showing, you can do that. You want to add lips, you can add your lips. If you just want to smile, you can do a smile. Lots of different choices. Your ears are going to go right like this. So we just do a little backward C, forward C. All right, now we can go ahead and color our... I'm just gonna add a little color to my lips and my eyeballs. Maybe I'll put a little blonde in my eyebrows. And we're ready to cut this out. Colored paper for your hair. An easy solution is to get your white paper and use one of your old crayons that doesn't have paper on it and just do a rubbing with the side. And I love how it's picking up all that texture too. All right, so now we can go ahead and start tearing our hair. So I held my finger on the top and then I grabbed with my other hand and I'm pulling it straight down. We can always trim these when we're done. It's okay if some of it's short. And if you have short hair, you might even gone the other way. Put our hair to the side. So if you had regular colored paper and you had short hair, you could do it horizontally like this. You get the idea. All right, so we'll put our hair to the side. We're gonna get another piece of paper. This is our background paper, and if you wanna go ahead and add a design to the background, you can do that. If I wanted to do stars, make some sort of patterns. Now, I'm going to go ahead and glue my head onto this paper. If you're using a glue stick, that's fine as well. Turn it over, line up the bottom of your neck with the bottom of the paper, and give it a little massage. Now I can start thinking about the hair. Do I have curly hair? If I have curly hair, I can always take my pencil and I hold the end and then I can wrap around and around and get some curly hair like that. If I have straight hair, I would glue it down like this. I have some hair in the back, so I can always tuck this under and trim. I'm just going to kind of lay out how I want my hair to look before I start gluing. And then we need some hair going along the side. I think my hair is actually covering up my ears. If you wanted it to tuck behind your ears, you could always do that. I can add some bangs going across. I have smaller little bits and pieces here. This is giving a great texture. When you're done and you have it all laid out, you can go ahead and start gluing. Now if you want to go ahead and add your shirt, I have another piece of paper here. It's about this size, and I'm just going to draw a half circle here. I can go ahead and cut it out. And get ready to glue it. If you want it over the hair, under the hair, you get to decide. If it's too big and it's covering, oops, it's too big and it's covering your chin, you just lower it down. And see, mine's hanging off. I can go ahead and trim that now. Oops, not dry yet. We'll give it another little rub. Now, a great idea is you could add even your patterned shirt if you want, or a necklace. If you want to keep going with this, you can add glasses. If you wear glasses, you can use paper to do that, or your marker, or you can add a hair bow. If you had short hair, you would make shorter strips. If you have the spiky hair on top, you would have little pieces of paper like this. We're going to bring it all the way down to our ears because that's where our hairline goes. You could even go across if you have like hair that comes on apart and cut over like that. It's spiky on the top and then just goes around the edges real short. You can make that thinner, but make sure you get it all the way down to the ears. All right. And now our self-portrait is complete.